Do you know where 90% of your happy hormone is made?
Yeah?
Where?
In your gut. A healthy gut.
A healthy gut. Today we want to take a look at the gut-brain connection and explore how your gut health influences your brain and your overall well-being.
Hi, I'm Rusty Cottrell, physical therapist. I've been interested in health and longevity since I was 15.
And I'm Debbie Cottrell, registered dietitian specializing in functional medicine and also very interested in healthy longevity. So what is the gut-brain connection?
Well, the gut-brain axis is a two-way communication system between the gut, the microbiome in the gut, and the brain.
So signals travel through your nerves, the vagus nerve, hormones, immune pathways, and microbial metabolites.
About 90% of the body's serotonin that we talked about is produced in the gut.
So how do the gut and the brain communicate? I mean, we think about talking, right? But how does a gut and a brain that can't talk communicate?
So 4 different ways we're going to discuss. The first one is neural. So that's the vagus nerve. There's a connection between the vagus nerve, connects the gut and the brain.
Okay. And another way is chemical. So the gut microbes produce neurotransmitters and short-chain fatty acids, and that helps with that communication.
As far as the immune system, inflammation in the gut can affect brain function.
And also the endocrine system, hormones link stress, digestion, and mood. So when they're linked, you can either have a messed up communication highway or a good communication highway.
There's a lot of chatter on health sites, where they talk about the vagus nerve and how to calm it down. Well, the reason is because that vagus nerve is getting, from poor diets, getting the wrong stimulation, and it's staying like in fight or flight type mode.
Which is stress, which then leads to the poor communication, not to mention inflammation as well. Yeah. So how does it matter, how the brain and the gut communicate? Well, research links gut imbalances, that dysbiosis, with anxiety, depression, and cognitive decline.
Also, Parkinson's and Alzheimer's diseases show the gut-brain involvement as well.
And then gut health also impacts your immunity, your ability to fight off disease, as well as your metabolism, how things digest, how they function, and also your energy.
I was talking to our son, Aaron, yesterday, and he was saying that there's basically 2 major ways that things get into your body. One is your lungs, air, and the other is everything you take into your gut system. And so how well that gut system is able to process that and utilize it is pretty essential. And I never thought about it that way.
It's very significant because what we take in has an impact.
You are what you eat, they say.
That is true.
You are what you can process.
Yes.
You are what you can digest.
That is very true. So how do you support the gut and the brain health? There's a lot of different ways. We want to touch on about 6 of them.
So eating fiber-rich whole plant foods to nourish beneficial bacteria. We have a lot of bacteria, not all beneficial. So we want to try to feed the ones that are beneficial.
Definitely. And that fiber is actually, some of the fiber we can break down. Some of the fiber that we don't break down, the gut bacteria breaks down, and it actually feeds them, nourishes them, helps them to be prolific and to, multiply.
Your gut likes fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi.
And another way to support the gut is through managing stress. So you may think, how does stress affect my gut? Well, it can affect your digestion. It can affect your absorption. And then when your digestion and your absorption is malfunctioning, that's going to have a definite effect on your brain function.
It's like if you're trying to get something done and you have little kids, and we had a lot of them in our house, and you're trying to get something done, you really need all your brain function, and little kids are pulling at you, do it, mommy, 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 mommy. That's what your gut does to your brain.
Well, and supporting the gut. Another way is exercise, and exercising regularly, because movement actually benefits both the gut motility, how your gut moves, how the foods go through the gut, and thereby affecting your mental health, surprisingly.
Another way is to sleep well. Circadian rhythm impacts your gut microbes.
Sleeping well is super important.
So to not sleep well would be improving the bad gut microbes instead of improving the good gut microbes.
And another way to think about that isn't just improving the bad ones. It's thinking about when the good ones aren't thriving, then the bad ones, they can multiply. So they keep themselves in like a checks and balances kind of a situation. And so we definitely want the good ones to be multiplying and keeping the bad ones at bay.
Right.
So when you talk about sleep, and we've talked about this in other episodes, the circadian rhythm is significantly affected by sleep. Getting to sleep early and getting up earlier, and the reason being that early morning light, that resets your circadian rhythm. Super, super important. So not only sleeping well, but the hours in which you sleep make a difference, and getting that early morning light to benefit that circadian rhythm.
I know we just traveled to about 4 hours away, earlier. And when we got there, we tried to get up really early, watch the sunrise, exercise, just like we do here, to try to keep that circadian rhythm, regulated. Lastly, limiting processed foods is a huge thing. Sugar, unnecessary antibiotics as well, it kills the good bacteria, as well as the bad.
Right. The antibiotics may be necessary in certain circumstances, but used indiscriminately, you're killing off all that good bacteria, and that's completely unbalancing your system, and then that affects that gut-brain connection. So definitely want to keep that functioning at a premium level. What's really important about that gut-brain connection has gotten a lot of focus recently with the GLP-1 hormone and the shots, because when the gut and the brain aren't connecting well, then your body doesn't get all the messages it needs for when to eat and when not to eat. Not to mention, craving good foods rather than craving junk food. So that GLP-1 hormone is all wrapped up with this gut-brain connection, and we can actually benefit our GLP-1 hormone that we make by having a good gut-brain connection.
Yeah, we're going to talk about in a future episode about how to activate key peptides in your gut that help, control some of those things.
Absolutely. So let's just do a little recap. The gut health supports your mood, focus, and your resilience.
The gut and brain are like what you call partners. They care for one another and they help each other.
That's right. And we want to aim for balance, variety, and consistency in our daily habits.
Taking care of your gut is not just about digestion. It's about supporting your brain, mood, and basically total wellness.
We hope this has been helpful for you as just kind of a surface look at why the gut-brain connection is so important. Not to mention, remember, 90% of your serotonin, your happy hormone, is produced in the gut. So it's super important.
In a healthy gut.
In a healthy gut, to keep that healthy. And please feel free to pass this on to someone who needs to know this information. And we'd love to have you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss future episodes. Until next time.
Aloha.
Aloha.